I want to awaken my Kundalini. It hasn't awakened yet.
Am I making some mistake? Please guide me, Jagdish. Brother, has Kundalini done anything wrong to you? She is asleep, poor thing. Let her sleep. Why are you after her? Don't you have any other work? Why do you want to awaken Kundalini? If it wakes up, then you will come and ask how to put her back to sleep. How this Kundalini has awakened, and now she won't let you rest. You just heard the word, and when you hear the word, a desire gets attached to it. There is no need to awaken Kundalini. There is a whole science, Shastra, for awakening Kundalini, but it is not necessary to pass through it. Jesus reached without going through it. Buddha reached without going through it. Mahavira reached. It is not essential to go through that path, and going through that path is also dangerous, because disturbing the latent powers of the body is not without risk. It is better to pass through life without disturbing them. The greatest danger in disturbing them is that you might not be able to control them. There might be such a huge explosion within you that it goes beyond your understanding. It will go beyond your understanding, and if you cannot control it, you might become insane. There was a great guru of this century, George Gurdjieff. He was very much against Kundalini. Because of his opposition, he gave Kundalini a new name, Kundabuffer. You must have seen the buffers, the things attached between two compartments of a train. They are called buffers. If there is a collision, the compartments don't run over each other. The buffers in between absorb the shock. Similarly, there are springs in cars. Those are also buffers. Because of them, a car can run even on Indian roads. There is an energy in the body that works as a buffer between the body and the soul. Otherwise, it would be impossible for the soul to remain within the body. A layer of that energy surrounds your soul. That is why injuries to the body do not reach the soul. That is why no event, whether the body is young or old, lives or dies, reaches the soul. When you get down, your family members won't even recognize you. You would have multiple fractures by the time you reach Mumbai. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be able to get from Pune to Mumbai, let alone farther places. The springs absorb your jolts. Otherwise, you would have to bear those jolts. There is an energy in the body that works as a buffer between the body and the soul. That is why injuries to the body do not reach the soul. This energy acts as a shield, allowing the soul to remain untouched by physical turmoil. This layer of energy safeguards your spirit, providing resilience against the trials of existence. It allows you to navigate through life's challenges with grace, ensuring your essence remains pure and unblemished. This divine energy is your ally, helping you maintain balance in a world full of distractions. It shields you from negativity, allowing your soul to flourish regardless of external circumstances. Gurdjieff chose the word correctly. Kundabuffer. There is no need to awaken it. It is performing its function well. It is possible to reach the self by awakening it. But why take on that headache? It's like trying to touch your ear by circling your hand behind your head. It serves no purpose. But many processes of yoga have become reversed, and thus difficult. The ego likes it a lot. Standing on your head is very appealing, as if you are performing a great deed. You just look foolish, but since you are standing on your head, you are doing a great deed. You are doing Shirshasana, headstand. You are twisting and turning the body in a way that no one else can, and since others cannot do it because it requires practice, you become a Mahatma, great soul, a great yogi. The ego took on the trouble of Kundalini in the same way. By awakening it, some Siddhis, supernatural powers, can be attained, and the ego is very pleased with Siddhis. For example, if you awaken your Kundalini, there are processes for awakening it, and all the processes are complex, difficult, full of confusion, not easy, not simple. That is why a tradition arose in India that was exactly the opposite, the Sahaj Parampara, natural tradition, or Sahajana, natural vehicle. It says, do not fall into any trouble because small petty things will arise. For instance, if your Kundalini awakens, you can read the thoughts of others. But are your own thoughts not enough to read? What will you gain by reading the garbage in someone else's mind? You can't even deal with what is already filled in your own head, and now you will read the thoughts of others. Yes, you will start showing some small miracles to people. For example, someone comes and hasn't asked what the time is, and you tell him it is 9:30 a.m. He will be surprised because he came to ask what time it was. But what is the essence of that? Why not just let him ask? What was the harm? Did you awaken Kundalini for this? And it will take years to awaken Kundalini. And this work could have been done in a moment. If he wanted to ask, he would have asked. A man came to Ramakrishna whose Kundalini had awakened. He said, I can walk on water. When Kundalini awakens, there is a possibility of walking on water because Kundalini can break your bond with the Earth's gravity. But there are dangers in that too, because if you break the bond with Earth's gravity, many of your body's processes will become disordered, which are only regulated because they are tied to gravity. That man could walk on water. As soon as he arrived, he challenged Ramakrishna. People call you a great Paramahansa, Supreme Swan, a Mahatma. If you are a Mahatma, come let's walk on the Ganges. I can walk on water, Ramakrishna said. Very good. How much time did it take to learn to walk on water? He said. It took 18 years. Ramakrishna said, that is too much. Whenever I have to go to the other side, I go for 2 paisa, small unit of money. You did the work of 2 paisa in 18 years, and I don't even have to go across that often, perhaps once every 4 to 6 months. In 100 years, the expense is about 4 paisa. In 18 years, you spent the equivalent of 1 rupee. You wasted 18 years for the sake of 1 rupee. Brother, are you sane? And what will you do by walking on water? After walking around, you will come back here. Ramakrishna was right. But that man was full of arrogance. He was full of ego. Now, Jagdish, why are you worried? You say you want to awaken Kundalini. Kundalini will grant you Siddhi. That is only a possibility. The greater possibility is that it will give you insanity. That is why you will see many sadhus and sannyasis becoming insane. And what is the reason for becoming insane? They have broken the natural flow of life. The energy that was meant for some other work they have forced up to the brain. To awaken Kundalini means to take the energy that is latent in your sexual center and raise it to the brain. This is a dangerous business because there is already a lot of mischief going on in the head. That is your asylum. And then you take the sexual energy there as well. So you can become insane. Many people who awaken Kundalini end up in a state of madness. The brain feels like it is bursting because the energy cannot be controlled. And the energy brings one to a state where there is no sense of what is appropriate or inappropriate. I have been brought to meet many such people who are simply insane, who need mental health care, and their fundamental mistake is the same one you want to make Jagdish. And once the energy in the brain goes beyond your capacity, what will you do? The matter will be out of your hands. There is no need to awaken Kundalini. Here too we do Kundalini meditation, but the purpose is not to awaken Kundalini, the purpose is something else. The purpose is to give dance to that Kundalini energy within. The purpose is quite different. The energy within you is currently asleep. It can be awakened, which requires pushing and shaking. My own experience is that there is no need to awaken it. It should just be given dance made musical, transformed into a celebration of joy. Then there is no need for pushing. There was a great dancer in the West named Nijinsky who lived in this very century. When he danced, sometimes an event would occur where he would leap so high that it was contrary to the law of gravity. Scientists were amazed. This cannot happen. Such a high leap should not be possible because the law of gravity will not let you rise that far. And there was another miraculous thing. When he made such a high leap and returned, he would return so slowly as if a bird's feather was swaying, floating in the air, coming down. That too is completely contrary. Gravity pulls things down instantly like a stone falling, not like a feather. Whenever Nijinsky was asked how he did it, he would say, I think about it myself. But it is not right to say I do it. It just happens. Whenever I tried to do it, it never happened. I have tried to do it many times because it has an effect, like a miracle. A silence falls instantly. The audience is immediately transported. People's breath stops immediately. They don't understand what happened. And I also feel great bliss, an unprecedented bliss. Inside there is peace, as if the soul has been bathed. But whenever I try to do it, it doesn't happen. It happens sometimes when I'm not trying to do it at all. When I am absorbed in the dance, so absorbed that my ego is completely dissolved, then this event happens. So now I have stopped trying to do it, Nijinsky said. Now when it happens, it happens. When it doesn't, it doesn't. One principle has become clear to me. It cannot be done. It can only happen. And happening means that my ego is dissolved. Then in some mysterious way this event occurs. Nijinsky was unknowingly reaching that state to which I want to take you through Kundalini meditation. The purpose of Kundalini meditation is not the same as it has been for centuries. In my opinion, I am changing the purpose of everything. The meaning of Kundalini meditation here is, you dance, be ecstatic, be immersed. Be so immersed that your ego does not remain separate. Then something will happen within you. You will suddenly be outside of gravity, and you will suddenly find such a profound silence within such an untouched silence that you had never known. You will be overwhelmed with joy. When you return, you will be a different person.
This is not the old process of awakening Kundalini. This is the process of giving dance to the Kundalini.
That is a different matter entirely. If you want to awaken Kundalini, then go elsewhere. If you want to give dance to Kundalini, then this event can happen here, and the difference is great. If Kundalini is given dance, if the inner energy starts dancing, there is no danger. You will never become insane. You will become even healthier. If you have some insanity, it will end. And your ego will never gain strength to show that you can walk on water or sit on a cloud in the sky or fly in the air. Because only when the ego is dissolved will this dance happen, and whenever the ego returns, you will not be able to do this. This is not something that will be in the control of your ego. The processes of awakening Kundalini can inflate your ego. This process dissolves and crushes your ego. 5,000 years have passed since Patanjali wrote the sutras. In 5,000 years, mankind has experienced a great deal. Even Patanjali himself, if he returned today, would agree with me because he would have to take into account the experiences humanity has gained in 5,000 years, and based on them, he would have to write the Yoga Sutras again. 2,500 years have passed since the time of Buddha, and 2,500 years since Mahavira.
That is a long time.
The world has moved from the bullock cart to the jet plane. Man is no longer the same as he was, and the experiences we have gained in this period have taught us a great deal. The meditation techniques I am giving are modern. Even if I am using old techniques, I have cut out everything from them that could pose a danger to you, and I have added everything that should be added based on the experiences of these 2,500, 3,000, 5,000 years. This is an innovative experiment taking place. He emphasizes that while he may use old words, he imbues them with his personal interpretations, urging listeners not to cling strictly to traditional definitions, lest they miss the essence of his message. Osho invites everyone to engage with his teachings freely, indicating that true understanding comes from embracing the unique experiment he offers, rather than getting lost in conventional interpretations. He encourages a deeper exploration of his words, urging listeners to transcend old meanings and engage in a transformative experience that fosters personal growth and understanding. Osho emphasizes that this journey is not just about words, but about connecting with one another and discovering the layers of meaning that lie beneath the surface.